Hi. We are here to overcome challenges and building success. This is what we're doing. And there are a bunch of things that have been running through my mind, and I want to put them out there. But let's begin with um, our first thing, which is my word of intention was to list today. And I am at 50% of my listing goal on Thursday. So I missed Tuesday's video. We had a horrible storm on Monday night, which several of our transformers got hit by lightning. Over 100,000 people were without electricity, and it was about 13 hours before we got our electricity back, and it really stressed me out. I had planned on I had planned my week, and Tuesday, I was going to continue working. I took some time off on Monday. I relaxed. I slept in a little bit, but I worked the entire weekend. But I still wanted to continue uh, doing what I needed to do for the week. What I did on the weekend was to catch up on the inventory I am doing on my clothing and the inventory I'm doing on my hard goods. And so I really kind of worked on that, um, and didn't list very much during the weekend, but I had already scheduled out listings for eBay. So I wasn't too concerned about it, but I was going to definitely hit the ground running on Tuesday. I had to pick up my sister from the airport, so on and so forth. But by the time I got home, um, I was so stressed out and I was so tired that, um, and so over the no electricity that I had a difficult time um, adjusting and pivoting. Um, I guess when I came up with the idea that I could take photos like in front of a window or something like that, um, it was just too late. So yeah, here on Thursday, I'm 50% finished with my listing goals. Um, on the reading front, I was able to finish two books. One is The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell. It was slow moving. Um, it did have a satisfying ending, although it was one I wasn't completely happy with. Not one I would suggest reading. Um, I just had a tough time with the premise of it and all the characters were not, fully rounded out. On the flip side of that, I finished reading The Missing Half, which was amazing. And that is by Ashley Flower. And the thing is um, th these are the types of books that, that just really, um, get me so involved, and the characters are are so perfectly flawed that you can literally see someone feeling what they're feeling, doing what they do for others. Um, in particular, sisters that have this love-hate relationship, and of course, um, every character in a book, quite frankly, need to be, uh, in juxtaposition of one another. If everyone was, ever so sweet to each other, it would be a boring book, right? So even the love of sisters has to have some kind of, um, conflict, and boy, oh boy, was there conflict. Um, it was a great book. I would pick it up and read it again. It was amazing. I loved it. So, those are the 2 books I finished, and that was, that wasn't time. Oh, Brad Paisley, time well wasted. So, yeah, that was great. So, I have the main purpose of this video is you can't give up, right? And I truly believe that people who don't have type 1 diabetes, they just don't understand. They don't understand the daily, the hour, the 30 minutes, the 5 minutes of constant not giving up, the constant struggle with your choices. Right now, I can tell you that there is something happening in my body. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's cold. I don't know if it is stress. I don't know what it is, but I know that my body is not okay. And how do I know that? My sugar's high, but I still have to keep showing up. I still have to keep moving on. I can't give up because if I gave up, I'd be in a chair watching TV, playing on my iPad 24/7, 365, right? And there are, uh, listen, I'm not saying that other people don't have stuff to go through. Of course they do. Everyone has their crosses to bear. Absolutely. And I'm not taking anything away from them. But what I truly believe is that because we kind of handle the diabetes on a daily basis, and it's part of our life, it's who we are, that other people don't hear what we go through. And most of the time, people might get sick. They might get COVID, um, and they get over it. They may get the flu. And they get over it. They might have cancer, um, and it's a period of time that they have to deal with this. But nowadays, and quite honestly, thank God that most of the time you get remission, um, not all the time, but those those people get to walk away. They get to walk away. And at some point, they get to go back to their own ways, where a diabetic never does. Every decision that we make is either for the good or for the bad. So, um, I wanted dessert last night. I haven't had dessert in months and months and months. I have not had dessert. And yesterday, I just felt like having dessert. My husband always has, um, ice cream and, a cup of milk, um, as his dessert. Sometimes it's cookies, but mostly it is ice cream. And so I asked him if we had any, and he said, "Yeah, I bought this chocolate ice cream with some peanut butter cup pieces in it. You want some?" "Yeah, I do. I do. I want ice cream." "Okay, how much do you want?" Just a little bit, just a tiny bit." And we have these little glass bowls, tiny. And I said, just one scoop in that tiny, tiny bowl." He gave it to me, and there I went, 296, and that's how I went to bed, at 296. I can't even enjoy that little ice cream that I had, because it now trickles down and adds on to whatever my body is trying to fight, right? Because I can't control the other thing. I think I know what it is. I really don't feel sick. I just feel very tired. And I am constantly pushing, myself to continue on. But I hurt my knee on Friday, in PT, and it is swollen, and it is given me a lot of trouble. And I have had to go back to the ibuprofen, and not being able to do a full workout. Even when I went on Wednesday morning, I told Jacob that, I was gonna do low moderate, and even that bothered my knee. So I think, the body is stressed out, with the knee. I think it's also stressed out because of everything, that went on this week, and I just I can't give in, right? I mean, let's even talk about people that go on vacation, right? And this is people that don't have type 1, right? It is a completely different story if you're trying to take care of yourself. It's a completely different story if you just want to be healthy. It's a completely different story, um, if you are trying to lose weight, or know that your genetics are, prone to X, Y, and Z, and so you want to take care of yourself, right? But walking away by going on vacation, you make those decisions, right? Well, I'm going to go on a cruise and I'm going to eat myself, into oblivion, and I'm going to drink all the time, and I am going to have the best time ever. You walk away. And then you come back and you say, all right, that's it. Vacation's over. And so is your fun. Vacation is vacation for us, but we can't walk away from T1D. We can walk away from the house, we can walk away from the animals, we can walk away from cleaning, we can walk away from the job, we can walk away from people, we can walk away from a lot of things. But we can never, ever walk away from this. And I just don't think that people really understand. And I really do hope that this is not coming out like a pity party, because it isn't. That's not what I mean. I don't mean that at all. I just think that people truly don't understand. That some of the things they say and do seem to disregard, uh, what we deal with day in and day out. I really do hope that you understand where I'm coming from, and for allowing me to, express how I feel sometimes. Um, Libby said something on one of her reflections, Libby from Consignment Chats. She used a metaphor from Albert Einstein, and it reminds me of us, not her and me, but type 1 diabetics. And it's um, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. I love that. I really do. So keep riding, keep your balance, take care of yourselves, and don't forget Father's Day is coming up on June 15th. I'm letting you know way in advance so that you can do what you need to do. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.